Hi everyone, welcome back. This is part 2 of the vacation recap and budgeting totals to see how we spent and whether or not our budget actually held up or not while we did our vacation in Texas. So if you missed part number 1, I will link it in the cards up here for you to click and go watch that first. But we are going to jump straight into it. I am going to skip T-Rex time. I'm sorry, but I want to keep this video short for you guys and I want to get through all the numbers so that you can see them. So we're going to pick up where we left off in the travel journal, and that is going to be on day 4, where we went to Waco, Texas by request from Kristen over at Intentional Living. We did go to Lolita's for breakfast tacos and they were absolutely delicious. I just got a picture of one of them, but I had a couple of them and they were awesome. The gal behind the front counter, she was super friendly, great to chat with, and gave us some other recommendations on what to do while we were in Waco. Of course, we had to go to the silos and the Magnolia Market. Did a bunch of walking around and shopping. We went and saw absolutely everything there, including spending like an hour on the phone with my mom buying home decor things that she wanted. So it was a long day and it even started out with rain, but honestly, that kind of helped keep the initial crowd away because we got there right when they opened. And so it actually was kind of refreshing. We didn't mind it. It was a light drizzle. Because I helped my mom do all the shopping, she did actually pay me back for our lunch this day as like a treat to us as a thank you. We did take a break from the silos and go to the Dr. Pepper Museum, which was just a short walk away. It is a self-guided tour, but it has a lot of reading. There were a few interactive things that were talking or video clips or this or that, but majority of it was visual and reading. You did get a free Dr. Pepper over at their soda shop, and it is made in the traditional way where it is the syrup in the cup and then adding soda water instead of it all being automatically mixed in a machine that does it. So it did have a little bit different flavor having it on tap, so to say. Well, afterwards we did walk back to the silos to have lunch. They do have a little food cart pod area for all different options, and we decided to eat at one called the Dog House. And they just had this fun area to sit and eat your lunch and hang out. And, you know, I think a lot of people that actually live in the area do come to hang out there because that's kind of what the green space is created for. They have cornhole set up and large bean bags you can go sit in. And it was just a fun atmosphere. I love the way everything was laid out and decor and the history, you know, seeing the church that they had to dismember and then restructure to make it more structurally sound when they moved it to this property to save it there in town. It was fun. It was so fun, but it isn't all that Waco has. Like, there was so much more to do there, and I wish we had a second day to have gone back up. You know, a few other recommendations were given to us, and so we were able to do one other thing, and that was go to Cameron Park. You wouldn't even expect that this park is here in this town along the Brazos River. I love nature stuff to get out and hike and do that sort of thing, and again, we didn't have enough time, but it was definitely something I would go back and do again. Multiple people told us to go check out Lover's Leap Lookout. We did drive up to that one. I believe it's one of the highest points there in Cameron. It was a gorgeous outlook and just, you know, beautiful looks of the river, you know, scenery, and it was just peaceful. There wasn't a ton of people up there. So that was super fun. And then we did have a really, really long drive home, just with coming home during like rush hour traffic. But we got Flores Mexican. It's a restaurant down in Texas. We got that for dinner, and that was actually really delicious and something different to have. My cousin was super sweet, and she had been wanting to try cake decorating, and so she actually decided to make us a cake while we were in Waco, and we got to have this gorgeous, delicious gluten-free cake. So our totals for day 5, we have a couple of food things. This one's not included in the total just because my mom did pay for that lunch. Thank you, Mom. You're so sweet. we did have a little bit more spending. I found some things for me, I found gifts for other people, and then we had one more gas fill up once we got back into town. So for a total of $219.46. The next couple of days, the spending isn't going to be very much, and I'm going to go through them very, very quickly because these were the days that threw our whole trip off. So we were supposed to fly out Thursday night, and in preparation, we were super chill. We had all our stuff packed. We went to kind of a late breakfast or lunch at a restaurant called Kirby Lane. I had chilaquiles, which were absolutely delicious. My cousin and her family actually went and picked up a new puppy, and they have mini schnauzers, and so now they have two. Cappy is the all black one for like Captain America. This is what they named him after. And then they got a little salt and pepper mix and called him Arlo. It was super cute seeing them interact and just be a part of each other, see how each of them reacted. That was just a nice relaxing day. So we headed to the airport, got through security super fast, which we were nervous about. And so to celebrate, we got some Amy's ice cream because obviously I had to get ice cream that's named after me, right? So we had celebratory ice cream to enjoy getting through security so fast, and like literally within 2 minutes of finishing our ice cream, my phone buzzed with a notification that our flight got bumped back. And this was already after rescheduling to an earlier flight so that we would still make our connection in Dallas, and now the bump back made it so that we weren't going to make it again. So we had to go wait in the customer service line to try and change everything because I wanted other options besides what my phone was showing me, and we stood in line for 4 hours. For that day's total, all we had were the two things at the airport. Our vouchers covered almost all of our barbecue, and then we just had a little bit of tip money, so a very small $20.73 for the day. The morning brunch breakfast was a treat from my cousin. Just as we were leaving town, they paid for brunch, so that is why I do not have that one in our total. So moving to Friday, both my cousin and her husband had to work. We bought everybody breakfast. Of course, Torchy's again had to. So again, that flight started getting delayed mid-afternoon, and we could see the pattern happening again of what happened the day before. And we really didn't want to go to the airport just to be there for a few hours and then have to have somebody come pick us back up again. So we decided to bump our trip to Saturday for our flight and stayed another night. We just kind of had puppy snuggles and watched TV. And then we had Austin's Pizza for dinner, which was super delicious. So thank you to my cousin and her family for hosting us and putting us up and letting us stay there as many days as we needed until we found a good flight to leave town on. Day 7 totals were breakfast tacos and pizza for dinner. We did have to run to Walgreens to grab, we just grabbed snacks and a few things that we needed since we were having to stay another night. So we had a total of $79.83 for the day. But we had an early morning flight, just kept it super simple. We grabbed, breakfast at the airport. Our flights were slightly delayed, like 10 minutes to 30 minutes on the first flight, but we still had plenty of time for our connection for Dallas. So we're like, we are going home. We're going to make it work. And we did get home. So we did arrive at the Moline Airport at 3:15 p.m., which ended up being about 15 minutes earlier than scheduled. So that was really, really nice after the long, long day we had. Again, simple totals for the day going into the airports and pretty much just eating. And we had a total of $58.06 on the day. We're gonna quick hop into these totals. I won't take long. I did do them by category and then an overall because I'm nerdy like that. I love numbers and I love seeing how things went. So for spending, we gave ourselves $260 was budgeted. Our actual was $371.63. We did end up buying a lot of, gifts for other people along with a few things for ourselves. And so I think that's kind of where the extra spending came from. So I'm perfectly okay with it. So we were over budget, $111.63 when it comes to our spending category. So moving to our food, we budgeted $550. We actually spent $533.03, meaning that we were under budget $16.97, which to me is a huge win, especially after having to add multiple meals onto our trip because of our flight being messed up and delayed. Our tip money, which we had in cash, we budgeted $120. We actually only used $77, and that was just because some actually got rolled over into the food category because it was spent on the credit card, or we had just a couple of fast food restaurants that didn't have, tips. So we are actually under budget $43 on our tip money, which is awesome. And then our final category was gas. We budgeted $100. We only spent $71.50, meaning we were under budget $28.50. So not too bad as far as like an individual category breakdown. I'm super proud of this because when we move over into the overall totals, our total budget was $1,030. So when I added up everything that we had, our total spent was $1,053.16, meaning that we did go over budget, but we only went over budget $23.16. And to me, that is an amazing win, especially after having multiple meals. We had a couple meals we were able to treat my cousin and her family to, plus we had to add extra meals on for the extra days we were there. While there was still a bit more spending I could have done as far as like souvenirs and things that caught my eye, by having almost all of it in cash with me, I was able to, really question whether or not it was something I absolutely had to have or not. I am super proud of this, super excited, and I will be doing a kind of cash unstuffing video coming up that is both the vacation money along with a few other things that either went on the card or got spent once we got home that weren't vacation. So those do need to come out of other envelopes. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I do hope to make another video too, just on kind of like my top tips for going on vacation and as far as a budget for vacation. So make sure to keep an eye out for that one as well. If you don't want to miss videos, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I would love to have you be a part of the Dino Budgets herd. We have fun over here, and I love all of you and appreciate all of you. So have a great day, guys, until I see you next time. Bye!